Good morning. Today's video is going to be slightly different because I'm not doing a sit down. I'm going to take you with me because it's going to be so much easier because it's been a long time. It's been 6 months, I think. It's been 6 months. And then I'm getting quite a few comments saying, can we get an update, please? Because you know how it is when you have cancer and then you're not online for a while, which I am on Instagram. But if I'm not on YouTube, then people are like, which I'm not, obviously, here I am. But to be honest, the last time that I was going to sit down to make a video, I was like, yeah, 100%, I'm doing it this weekend. It was over a month ago. So I don't know, it's just life gets in the way. So here we go. On Friday morning, you're coming with me for my nuclear scan, for my bone scan, and then possibly on Monday to oncology, not to see how that all goes, but so that I can have a chat with you. Then I'll update you on everything that I can remember that has happened and been happening. Okay, see you in a sec. Good morning. It is Happy Friday. I know that you're actually connected to the car right now, and I've just realized that maybe the sound is not going to be great, but it's okay because I'm not actually going to be talking to you right now because I'm going to drive into the hospital, as I said, to do the bone scan. We'll ignore that. And then in between everything, we'll have chats, we'll have an update. I'll let you know how everything's going. Uh-oh. You wanna come out? You don't wanna come out? You do wanna come out. Okay, I'm here. I'm actually early, but sorry, I'm just trying to figure out where to put you because the lighting is strange because of the light from these windows. Oi! By the way, I have a really bad headache today. I have had this headache for a full week now at this stage, is it? Today's Friday, yeah? A week. So, that's great. Jesus. God, I hope it's not cancer. Just joking. No, it won't be that. It's just migraines. Anyway, yeah, I am early. Probably what I'm going to do is, I actually meant to take a book with me. Damn. Look, it doesn't matter. I'm gonna get a coffee because you know that's what I survive on. Speaking of which, by the way, and I'm gonna put it into the description box, okay, I set up a buy me a coffee. So if you would like to fuel me and buy me a coffee, that'd be great. Probably what I should have done is gone to Tesco first and bought water as well because I'm kind of fussy about my water. Yeah, okay, let's just go and see what the situation is because I desperately need a wee now. And then I'll come back to you then and chat. Oh, Jesus. Wait. I need to put my parking ticket in a very special place so I don't lose it because that is the thing I am best at. I am the world's best loser of parking tickets. When you come here, it's always freezing because yeah, it's always freezing outside because it's really exposed and there's what do you call it? It's just really windy, and now my cardigan is in my bag. I feel like I'm gonna be freezing. I can't keep up right now with there's no stairs here. No, I'm not taking the lift by myself. Not if I can chance. It's one of these. I don't want to push it, I'm afraid. No, it's okay. A little bit claustrophobic myself. That is my biggest fear. Yeah, it's just a chemotherapy drug, that's it.
And then the what is
Nope. Nope.
body?
Nope. Nope. Yes. The most recent one was in November, bone in my knee, my right knee. It's just a removal of a metal plate from my wrist in March of 2024. I think November? No,
2024?
October maybe? Sorry, but yes, 2024.
No, no, it's
Yeah, here, yeah. Okay, I'm injected up, and actually I have to say that I'm so impressed with your man because he got the line in the first go, and nobody ever does that. So I literally was like, well done, in claps. So condescending. Right. So now I have the coffee, I have the injection, I have the parking ticket, and I'm gonna go and find a park and sit out, I think, in some fresh air for a while and avoid pregnant ladies and children. Do you know what? My idea is crap because it's really overcast and, to be honest, cold now. I don't really want to go and sit in the park, but I'll go anyway and see. Maybe the clouds will clear, but I'm at Herbert Park and I am just watching the most wholesome thing ever. I would say these guys are college age kids and they have a ball. There's 3 of them and they're kind of doing volleyball between the 3 of them. Just, is that not just one of the most wholesome things in the world? Very cute. Anyway, I said I'm gonna just sit here for a few minutes and chat with you, wait for some of those clouds to go away, and then I might just go for a little bit of a walkie. What time is it? Grand, yeah. I can still keep drinking my coffee until 12. Right, so when I was in getting my injection, well, before I got my injection, you know, they run through the questions. One of the questions they asked was about any recent breaks in a bone, obviously, because it's a bone scan. And that's one of the things to update you with. So in, like, was it 24th maybe around or something of November, anyway, November of last year, I went ice skating with the guys because it was, you know, Christmas time, doing all of the nice things. And now this is hilarious because if you have been here for a while, you know that in 2023 I was on rollerblades and I fell and I broke my wrist, which resulted in me having surgery on it. It was that bad. And then last year, 1 year later, I had to have the plate taken out of my wrist because it was damaging the tendons in my wrist. November, I had so in 2023, I said, well, that's it. I can't go on skates again. So we did not go ice skating in November of 23. And then Ashton asked me, he saw the ice skating rink had gone up and he asked me, will we be allowed to go ice skating this year? And I was kind of like, oh, do you know what? Why am I letting this hold me back? It was just like a bad, like a nasty accident. That's all it was, just an accident and circumstance, you know? So I thought, yeah, of course, we'll go. So booked the tickets. November of last year, November of 2024, we went along ice skating and didn't I fall? So it happened. Anyway, it actually was not that bad. They initially put me into a boot. The boot started causing really, really bad back problems. The last time I was talking to you, I was talking about the back problems. So that now leads me on to the update about that. And so I had the last scans. I can't remember after the back issues started. I think it was only a CT. There wasn't a bone scan. But there would have been a bone scan just before that. So when I brought it to my oncologist and was saying it was talking to her about it, she said, well, nothing showed up on that. Then we did a CT and nothing showed up on the CT, as in no new growth showed up on the CT. So what she had said to me was that we may do some radiotherapy. I think I spoke with you about that already, but just to reiterate what I had felt about it, that once you have the radiotherapy on the one area, it's kind of a one and done. You don't have radiotherapy on it again. So I felt that if the bone lesions were causing me pain, sorry, I thought someone was standing there. If the bones were causing me that much pain, yes, I would definitely do the radiotherapy. But I wanted to rule out that, I wanted to make sure I definitely had exhausted all other options, because for me, radiotherapy is a last resort situation, because if it were to get any worse after that, I'd be screwed. So, yeah. So I went along to physiotherapy. Now I'm going to tell you what my oncologist, she didn't advise going to physio. What she said was doing massage. So I was kind of like, I'm kind of strange, about people touching me and everything. And the idea of massage it's not a relaxing one for me. So I kind of thought maybe that sports massage, physiotherapy, that would be tolerable for me. Oh my God, it's so windy. Right, went along to physio, and I really do not mean this in a bad way. This is in a good way. He had no sympathy for me. It was like, So I had told him that I'm not really a fan of people touching me very much and that kind of thing. It's just the way that I am. And he had said kind of that a bit of like that, massage is nice, but it isn't going to do anything for you. That's basically what he had said. And he used this phrase that motion is the lotion, as in, like people looking for the magical cure, like the magical lotion to fix your problem. And he was saying motion is the lotion, so you got to get moving. It was just kind of like, do you know what? Suck it up. You have cancer, but he was basically saying you need to be as fit and as strong as you can be, because as time goes on and as you're going through more and more treatments and that you need your body to be strong and to be as able as it can be for what it's going to be put through. And yeah, I mean, I really didn't mind. I was really surprised by the whole, because people always feel sorry for you when you have cancer, like they always feel sorry for you. But he was basically like, meh, heard that one before, Anyway, so, right, he gave me these kind of exercises to do. There was loads of stuff and a lot of Pilates based things. Incredible conditioning. He was basically saying this is what you need to do. Literally, like, I think the next week or something, I'd been there, I think 3 or 4 times with him. Then I fell on the ice and I broke my freaking knee. Then I was like, okay, I need to be on my knees in these positions to do this. And then I was kind of saying, okay, so they had put me in a boot for my freaking knee, which made excuse me, because it was like a high boot. Do you know that my legs were off. It killed my hips. I swear 1 or 2 days. That's how long I wore that boot for. And then I just said, no, screw it. I'm taking it off. Took it off. Everything was fine. I was able to walk so much better without the boot. I was able to drive. It wasn't a weight bearing bone, so it was fine. Then January came along and I said, do you know what? My back is hurting all the time. I knew I was just really not physically fit. And I said, as a sort of a New Year's resolution, that I was going to start walking. And I don't mean going for a stroll, I mean like a power walk. Obviously, because of my situations like degenerative disc disease, my knees, the osteoporosis, and whatever, you're not meant to do anything high impact. So running is off the table, walking is fine. So I started in January, literally every single day in January, bar I think there was like 1 or 2 days where I wasn't well, but every single day I was going for a walk. And my walk was it depended on the route, but between 3 and 6 or 7 kilometers anyway. And I swear, within a couple of weeks, I felt so much better. All of my aches and pains were gone. So there you go. I like, touch wood or whatever, I don't have those back and neck problems that I had towards the end of last year. My hip even feels good. And now, so when February came along, I was walking maybe like 5 times a week. March, I'm gonna be quite honest with you, I went through like, I think, is it 2 weeks where I didn't even go for a walk. And then like Ribo was actually kicking my butt. This was actually only this cycle, and last weekend I was finishing up on it, but on the Sunday I actually had a back pain and I had a really sore hip, and I said, I'm going to I have to go for this walk. I have to go because I need to get everything moving again. And I did it. And then the next day I went for another walk, and I was definitely forcing myself for sure, but I'm feeling good again, basically. I don't have those back issues, bone issues, whatever. What were we talking about before? Did I tell you that I dropped my dosage? I don't know. Did I tell you about this? What time are we at? So I was on the starting dose of 600 milligrams for ribociclib. At the time that I started it, everybody was being started on 600 milligrams. I have heard from another person, and she lives in the States, that her oncologist starts all of his patients on 400 milligrams. I don't know. I'm pretty sure that because in clinical trial everybody was on 600, everybody was started on 600 milligrams, that is the way that you do it. And it's totally fine to drop the dose to 400, and if you're not tolerating that, to drop it down to 200. Anyway, towards the end of last year, my oncologist did drop me to 400 milligrams. So the reason being, I was really, really, really sick. As in not nauseous sick, but just catching infections all the time. At this moment, I can't even remember everything, but it was a lot last year. There was a lot of things. So there would have been pneumonia, there was flu, and what else? Neutropenic sepsis. And I was hospitalized, and then I was in the emergency room and the hospital all the time, and I hate that. And I was we know I was not tolerating 600 milligrams, but as a person I was tolerating it. I was saying it is what it is, do you know? Because if you have done chemotherapy before, Ribo is technically a walk in the park, because the toxicity is not anywhere near as bad as, well, for example, AC, Red Devil. If you've done Red Devil, you're fine. I think if you have done Red Devil and you survived, you will survive anything. Initially, when I had started on Ribo, I was obviously really sick and nauseous. I started then, instead of taking it in the morning, that I was taking it in the evening, and that really, really helped because you sleep through the part where you're really sick. So the infections and just being neutropenic and being prone to infections and that just got worse and worse and worse with time. I was afraid to drop to 600. I was afraid to drop to 600 milligrams because I thought, if 400 is okay and if 200 is okay, why does 600 exist? That's basically how I was feeling. I thought, I am putting myself at risk. I'm making, stupid decisions if I say I'm going to go to 400. And then when I was speaking with my oncologist, she said, yeah, you're not supposed to be this sick. And she said, I think what we should do is drop it to 400 at least to get you over the flu season. Ultimately, it has been longer than flu season because the last time I was in, she said, look, we've done CT, everything is still stable while you're on 400 milligrams and you're living a better life on 400 milligrams. So there's no reason to be on 600, which is super. Another happy little bonus of that is that I obviously had a lot of hair loss on 600 milligrams, which has stopped. I'm not going to say stopped. There's obviously like a little bit of hair loss still, but it's nowhere near as noticeable. On 600 milligrams, chunks of hair were coming out of my hands. My hair was not all one length as it is now, because it was not growing in patches. So I will show you what my hair was like on 600 milligrams and then what my hair is like on 400 milligrams. And you can see basically that there's much more of it on 400, which is, as I said, happy bonus. Oh, crap. I see a magpie and I only see one and I want to see two. Frick. Oh, there he is. I found two. It's all good. Listen, I'm going to go. I'm going to go and go for a little walkie and then head back over to the hospital. So I am back at the hospital again. I'm going to go in for my scan now, which is in like 15 minutes. So what was I going to say? Oh yeah, the other thing was that I found on 600 milligrams that I was really, really tired. And it was not just tired, it was extreme fatigue. That's what it was. I think I'd become so used to it that I wasn't even, I definitely had, because I've just remembered this. When I moved to 400 milligrams, I had such bad insomnia, such bad. I was awake for multiple nights. Now, it wasn't a full week, but I would say maybe 3 nights I went with no sleep because I swear my body was like, what is this? Do you know, it was just kind of like, it just wasn't used to not being under so much strain or whatever. So I was still going through, I was full of energy. It was insane. Anyway, but it adjusted again. And now I do get tired. I get tired in the afternoons. And I'm going to say, especially on week 3 of the cycle, I can have a nap. I can. I could go into the bed at like 4 and sleep for at least an hour, but then still go back to bed later. If I didn't do that, I would become overtired. So cranky and then not able to go to sleep at nighttime. So yeah, naps still happen, but just not that incredible fatigue that was there before. Right, okay, better go. And then also, surprise, surprise, j'ai besoin de faire pipi. Okay, done, and there's Suite 4 behind me. Suite 4, if you know, you know. It definitely looks like rain. Right, I am all done now. It's cold and windy out here now. It's actually so quick. Because what? Like, it's only 1:30 right now. I swear, like, okay, so they have new machines that they got. I feel like last year was my first time in one of the new machines, but it used to take 1 hour. It basically was like 40 minutes, and then there was a between 13 and 20 minute scan or something like that. And now the whole thing's just done in 20 minutes. I sound like an old lady, but anyway, so look, what I'm thinking is that I'll touch base again now on Monday, and then we'll just go through anything that I feel like I remember or forgot to talk about or whatever. Anyway, so I will see you then. Good morning. It's Monday morning. It is, I was supposed to leave at 7, but I snoozed my alarm, so it's actually 7:15. So I swear 15 minutes does make a difference. So we'll ignore that again. Okay, we're heading in now to the hospital. It's like oncology day, so it's bloods, CT, Zometa infusion, and seeing my oncologist. Okay, I'm arriving now, and it has just gone 8:30, so I made it. I made it in good time. Don't knock over the cyclist, that's fine. So yeah, I'm gonna go in now. Yesterday was Mother's Day here in Ireland, so I went and saw my mom and, well, my family. And the other thing is, if you don't follow on Instagram, you definitely don't know this, but so it's still March right now, but in May, I was gonna say next month, but in May we are going to Zambia. Yay! I'm coming home. So yeah, we're all very, very excited. Very excited. I never thought I'd be like going home again. So yeah, it's sorry. I'm so used to wearing the Polaroid ones in the car that you can't see screens with, so then I take off the glasses, then I'm like, no, I can't read, but it didn't say out of service, so that was fine. Where did I put the parking ticket when I got it? What did I do with that? I told you, Did you see what I did? I pushed the button for the barrier to go up, and the barrier went up, but I didn't take the ticket. And there was a van behind me. Okay. Good morning. It is Tuesday morning. I'm about to head into work. And basically I finished up in the hospital yesterday, and then I just actually phoned my dad on the way home, and then forgot to finish the day. So I basically everything went well. I didn't do a CT yesterday actually because she felt it was too much radiation, and I had just had the nuclear scan on the Friday. The everything else bloods wise, everything is looking good, and I also was just asking about, because I'm going to be traveling to Zambia, about the vaccinations and that, and I do still have vaccinations for the things that would be live vaccines, so I'm fine with that. And then the other thing is the anti-malarials. So actually what's going to happen is, for that month I'm going to come off Ribo, so I'm actually very happy about that, because everything, well, right now I don't know for sure, but hoping with the scan that was done on Friday that everything is stable, so I can take, because I think with the Malarone, for example, that's the one that I know at the moment, it's like a week before you go away, while you're away, and then the week after, so it would be a full month. So just to make sure that there's no interactions. And then also I told her I was delighted because I'd have more energy and not be so susceptible to infection and that kind of thing. So that's good. I'm happy about that. Yeah, so I suppose that is pretty much everything. This has been a super long video, obviously. I apologize for that. Obviously, as you can see, I'm doing really well. Great spirits, feeling well and healthy, and enjoying life. I have things to look forward to, and yeah, it is all good. Thank you so much for being here. And if you managed to watch the whole thing, well done, because it's so long, so long. If you enjoyed the video, if you like this channel, if you feel like any of the videos here that I have made will help anyone else, please do subscribe and like so that other people can find us too. Thank you very much for watching. I'll see you in the next one. Bye.